Good morning. My name is Susan Reardon. I'm the staff hearing officer, and I call the meeting of Wednesday, February 3rd to order. Today we have 3 items on our agenda, and I haven't received any requests for continuances, postponements, or withdrawals, so we'll hear them in the order that they appear on the agenda. Under announcements and appeals, I have no announcements, but we have received a recent appeal. It was for a medical cannabis dispensary or storefront collective permit. It was on the last agenda. The address is 118 North Memphis Street, and it has been appealed by a neighbor, and we haven't scheduled a planning commission date yet. So once a planning commission date has been scheduled, I will announce that date. Is there anybody in the audience who would like to address the staff hearing officer on items not on today's agenda? No, seeing no one, we will go to the first item, which is 617 and 623 De La Venus Street. I don't see the applicant in the audience, but we can begin without him and see if he shows up. So anytime you're ready, Betsy.
Okay. So this is a historic, it's called Castellino Bungalow Court, and it's 18 freestanding units and 16 parking spaces, covered parking spaces, carport, and a 1-car and a 2-car detached garage. So the proposal today is to demolish the existing 1-car and 2-car garage and to replace them with uncovered parking, 2 uncovered parking spaces here, 1 over here. So during plan check, it was discovered that because our city ordinance requires that for freestanding buildings that 1 uncovered and 1 covered parking space are required, that they didn't meet the code. So they are requesting a modification to allow them some relief from this requirement and to allow them to have uncovered parking.
Mark, we're on your item, Mark.
Sorry.
So the proposal was reviewed by HLC because, as I mentioned, these are historic. HLC deemed that was acceptable, and so we're really just requesting relief from the requirement under the code. So the parking spaces actually will be set back outside of the required setback. As currently, you can see the garages are located in the setbacks. So there was a zoning inspection report done in 2014, and there were several violations that were found. Addition at the rear of unit 617, at the rear of unit, this is 617, and it's 623, and an addition on 617C, I believe, yes. And these are being abated through an open building permit that has not yet been finalized. If Mark wants to speak to that, that's fine.
Louder.
Oh, okay. There were some violations that were found in the zoning inspection, and these are being abated through an open building permit that has not yet been finalized. So I don't believe they have any effect on the request today for the modification. We do request, it is in a potentially sensitive archaeological area, and we are requesting that the standard mitigation measures be placed on the plans. But other than that, we believe that it's an improvement to the property and have no impact on either the tenants or on the surrounding neighbors. So with that.
Thank you. I don't have any questions right now. If you'd like to state your name for the record and provide additional comments.
Mark Mirando, agent for the owner. Yeah, basically, Betsy was talking about the enforcement. There was an addition on the back here, and then there was an addition over here. And both of those were taken off, and this unit's pretty much completed now. We pulled a remodel on all of these except for the 2 on Bath, and we've repainted them and re-roofed them, replaced the sewer and water lines, and then each unit's getting remodeled with pretty much the same configuration. Little changes to make the rooms a little bigger and move the bathrooms, make them a little more modern. But like she said, the garages are just so dilapidated that it'd be nicer just to remove them, and the tree is uplifting quite a bit. So we replaced it with 7 Valencias, replaced the biomass, and Compass Rose did the archaeological report. They didn't find anything but, asking for the standard mitigation. The uncovered space will be moved out of the setback, and then the fence along the property line here will be replaced. And they weren't asking for any permeable pavers or anything in this area that was uprooted because of the schwimp was met with a couple rain barrels on a unit to capture the water for like a tier 1. So that was pretty much the whole project. And, you know, of course, you got the arborist reports on the plans too with the removal of the avocado.
Okay. And why are you not proposing to replace the covered parking? You're doing it uncovered. You're still having the same amount of parking spaces, but why not just providing covered parking back?
I think it was just the expense of building, you know, a double car garage and a single car garage. Rather put the money into the units and then landscaping the area and make it look really nice. And the uncovered, you know, I think if we just put like a little fence up in between them or something like that, it would be really nice. I think we're planning on coming in with some fences to like give them a little bit of a rear yard that gives them some privacy. Okay. So that was the idea.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Thank you. I'd like to open the public hearing. Is there anyone here who would like to address the staff hearing officer on 617, 623 De La Vina Street? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. I didn't receive any letters in my packet. Have we received any? Okay, I'll close the public hearing. I agree with staff's assessment in terms of covered versus uncovered parking. Generally, we like parking to be screened from the public right-of-way, and we like garages better. However, in this instance, the uncovered parking space and even the garage isn't visible from any public street. It's tucked behind existing structures. Correct. And so that wouldn't cause an impact to the street frontage. Also, another benefit of the uncovered parking space is that you are able to move the parking spaces away from the interior setback or out of the interior setback. This one, as both of you noted, is right on the property line.
Right.
You might have needed to get some kind of encroachment to be able to have the back out from a structure. So I think what you're proposing is a benefit to both the people or the residents on site as well as your adjacent neighbors. And given all those facts, I could make the finding outlined in the staff report and approve your project subject to the condition of approval contained in there. And Ms. Teeter explained it, and you read it about the archaeological.
Correct.
You
right.
Agree with it?
Yes.
Okay. So I approve your project. My action is appealable to the Planning Commission within 10 calendar days, and they also have oversight authority of all my actions. And if they felt this warranted additional discussion before them, they could call it up during that same 10-day review period. And if either of those would occur, Betsy would contact you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Sorry for being late.
The next item is 1212 San Miguel Avenue. If the applicant would like to come up.
Don't let it happen again. Morning. I brought along some additional photos just of that front section. So hopefully it helps.
Okay, good morning. My name is Michelle Bedard, staff planner for this project. It's located at 1212 San Miguel Avenue on the Mesa near Shoreline Park neighborhood. This parcel is currently developed with an existing one-story single-family residence. There's some existing photographs, and we provided some color photographs to see the street view from of the residence and a view from the property looking out to the street.
Yeah, I know you come before this show a couple of times. I'd actually prefer them this way versus on the plans.
Got it.
Yeah, so it's easier.
Will do.
Yeah, and the hearing that we can show them and the people at home.
You got it.
Just as I know, sorry, Michelle, for interrupting you.
So here's some existing elevations of the existing residence. And here's the site plan. So the existing building is just slightly non-conforming to the required 20-foot front setback. As you can see, and the yellow is the property line, the pink is the setback line. So it encroaches about 2 feet into this setback here, and the porch encroaches maybe about a foot or so. Otherwise, the house is conforming. The proposal involves a remodel and a second-story addition. The second-story addition conforms to the required setbacks. So this project is here before you today for a technical modification, a discretionary application for a modification to allow a conforming addition to an existing non-conforming structure based on that slight non-conforming. See there. There are a couple other minor alterations. You can see don't really affect the impact of the project, but there's a existing that was a window, now that's going to be a door, and then they're making some slight alterations to the front covered entry. But other than that, staff is supportive of the project as proposed and recommends that the staff hearing officer approve the project as making the findings outlined in the report.
Great, thank you. I don't have any questions right now. If you would like to state your name for the record and provide additional comments.
Hi, Jason Grant with J. Grant Design Studio. I think staff laid it out quite well. Once again, where this existing little front porch is already sitting in that front yard setback, we just wanted to kind of dress that up and kind of give it a nice sense of entry into that house. And then, of course, just technical mod for that corner where we're changing out what is an existing window to a French door. Staff mentioned everything we're doing is everything proposed is obviously conforming, and so that's with that enough said.
Great, all right, thank you.
Yeah.
I'd like to open the public hearing. Is there anyone here who would like to address the staff hearing officer on 1212 San Miguel Avenue? No one? Have we received any letters or emails?
I have not, no.
Okay, so I'll close the public hearing. I agree with staff that this is totally a technical modification. What you're doing, the second-story addition all conforms to zoning requirements. It's all set back from the street. The changes that are occurring within the front setback are so minor that I really don't have much to say. Other than just to let you know that we are looking at these types of modifications in our new zoning ordinance update, just to recognize the fact that these existing situations that there needs to be some other type of relief allowed and maybe some administrative type approvals versus a full public hearing. But that doesn't help you now.
No, it doesn't, but it sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
It sounds like a bright new future.
Yeah. So
especially related to the Mesa where everything is slightly set into a
yeah.
setback.
And I would really encourage you to be involved with that process since you design a lot and you probably have some really good ideas of ways to help. So I would encourage you to participate in that process. But to the subject application before us, it is consistent with our zoning ordinance. It's an appropriate improvement. It'll enhance the street frontage. And so I can make the findings outlined in the staff report. They aren't proposing any conditions, and I don't believe I need to add any conditions, so it's approved as submitted. My action is appealable to the Planning Commission within 10 calendar days, and they also have oversight authority of all my actions. If they felt this warranted additional discussion before them, they could call it up during that same 10-day review period. And if either of those would occur, Michelle would contact you.
Great.
Okay?
Thanks so much.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
So our last item is 522 Peregrina. Hi, good morning.
Thanks.
Thank you for covering this. Joanne's out, so Michelle's.
Oh,
Yes, hi. Okay, yes, good morning. So again, my name is Michelle Bedard. I'm not the staff planner on that. That's Joanne LeConte, but I will be presenting this for her this morning. So this proposal, again, a single-family residence located on a approximately 8,250 square foot lot located at 522 Peregrina. This proposal is the existing residence is non-conforming to the existing western interior setback by 1 foot. The proposal involves a slight interior remodel of the portion of the residence and about a 42 square foot addition, as I've outlined in this little yellow area. The yellow encompasses the addition, and this solid yellow line is the area of the encroachment into the required setback. So the green is the property line, pink is the required 6-foot setback, and the proposed addition is proposing to be 5 feet from the property line and in line with the existing residence. As you'll see here, here's an existing floor plan. And so part of their interior alterations involve remodeling this area. The addition will infill this space here And then they're doing some minor alterations, removing the closet to expand the dining room and remodeling the kitchen a little bit, as you'll see in the proposed floor plan. And I've outlined in yellow again here. This is the proposed addition, infilling along that same wall. This 5-foot currently setback from the property line. And then this is a reconfiguration. They're, again, removing that closet, expanding the dining room, adding some doors there. So the project was exempt from design review, and essentially staff is supportive of the project as proposed for the discretionary application for an interior setback modification to allow a addition within the required 6-foot setback, western interior setback. And staff is supportive of the project, given that it is in line with the existing residence. There's no new openings on that interior side. And staff recommends approval subject to the condition and findings outlined in the report.
Great, thank you. I don't have any questions right now. Would you like to state your name for the record and provide additional comments?
My name is Hugh Twibell. I'm the architect for the owners. They're a young couple. They have a growing family. They just need a little more room for themselves.
Yeah.
And then their son is up here in the front. So that's all.
Okay, great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have any questions for you right now. I'd like to open the public hearing, but there's no one left in the audience. Have we received any emails or letters? No, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. This is another fairly minor modification. You're infilling some existing area that's between the property line and the existing residence, and given the existing residence is now within the setback, it necessitates a modification. These types of modifications, represents a uniform extension of the existing building. The existing building is legal; it's non-conforming. It makes sense. It's not you're not asking for a significant amount of encroachment into the setback, whether it's the width or the length. It makes sense. You're just squaring off the corner. So I can make the findings outlined in the staff report, citing that it is necessary to secure appropriate improvement on the lot, and it is consistent with the zoning ordinance. Like Michelle said, there's no new openings within the setback. I would like to change the condition just slightly. It references previous building permit, and it says said approval is subject to the condition that a building permit shall be obtained for the fence and wall approved under sites of master application. I'm just going to take out that master application and just say either subject to the condition that the building permit shall be obtained for the fence and wall, or it shall be removed from the site. So either you just get a building permit for it, or it needs to be removed.
Yeah,
and so,
I've got all the drawings ready. I just haven't submitted them yet for the fence, and Joanne said to do that separately from this because it was a separate issue. So
okay, yeah. If you can talk to her, see if maybe now that this is approved, and your next step would be a building permit, if maybe combine them at this point.
Oh, okay.
You can ask her. She might have said that since it was two separate things and we didn't know the outcome of this. But
okay.
You might want to verify with her if that would be okay to
Make
do.
things a lot easier.
Yeah, it seems like it would streamline the process.
Yeah.
So with that, I can make the finding outlined in the staff report and approve your project subject to the condition as I just revised it. My action is appealable to the Planning Commission within 10 calendar days, and they also have oversight authority of all my actions, and if they felt this warranted additional discussion before them, they could call it up during that same 10-day review period, and if that was to occur or an appeal was to be filed, Michelle would contact you.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I adjourn the meeting.